concept of unconditional love is incredibly appealing. You can get unconditional love from your parents, your dog, your counselor, but not to come across as too cynical. It's not exactly true. There's always a condition. For example, parents. Parents have a word for it: disowned. Disowned. I don't even want to know the etymology on that one. But dogs need and depend on you. Not exactly the definition of love. I'm sure they can, though, for you dog lovers. And then there's a counselor. Unconditional support is a primary tenet in Rogerian therapy when it was being developed back in the 50s and 60s. It remains a consistent feature in all therapeutic evolutions today. But if I have somebody in my office explain how they're going to find my house and burn it down and kill the rest of my family, I'm super likely to close that case. My point is, nothing is unconditional. There is always an upper limit. So, some people get so much more than others, though, right? That is because they develop a relationship with you. They have created trust. This trust bank, a concept that I think was coined by Stephen Covey, who's the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This trust bank is invested into through words and actions. Someone saves your life, big deposit. Someone burns the house down, big subtraction. Your trust can be abused in this way, with a person making seemingly large investments in you. This is how con men and abusive relationships work. Con person? Anyway, what they do is they try to let you win or make you feel good in some way and then leverage that. Back in the day, we would have somebody who would say, oh, let me take your camera. I'll take a picture of you. And they would walk a few feet back because people didn't have trackers in their cameras, which were not phones back then. Then they would walk another 15 feet back, 20 feet, and then they'd be sprinting the other direction with a very expensive camera. And, one assumes a local pawn shop. So that would definitely be a little give into faith and trust in strangers, and a big removal. Relationships that are risked for becoming abusive typically are very intense and move very, very quickly, with a lot of potential tiny little or even really big dramatic, especially the big dramatic moves, building trust very quickly, but not in a faithful kind of way, because it's not an honest representation of what that person is going to be like. Basically, an action that makes you feel good adds to the trust bank, and something that doesn't takes it out. A person you choose as a partner will generally add more to the bank than they take. And the bank account generally remains positive. When you accumulate a lot of history with that person, you get a lot of credit for the bad times. But nothing is unconditional. See, coming back to the start. There's a whole slew of stupid concepts that can really stick you into a bad place if you hang on to them. A great one is stand by your man. Another one might be, if I buy you dinner, you owe me sex. See, small investments leveraged into a larger penalty. The stand by your man thing is generally in the context of abuse, where often women believe that because they're in a marriage, they have to remain in it. If you don't know the dinner and sex thing, good. But the point is, if you feel like somebody's taking advantage of you, they're trying to leverage this, you'll feel it in your stomach, or maybe your heart, or possibly your head. You'll feel the pressure. Think about why it is. How often does this happen? What exactly is happening? Is this person taking more than they're putting into your bank? Or if you're really honest with yourself, have you done something going in the other direction? Remember, just because one thing has happened, or even if it's happened over time, it doesn't mean that that process must continue. That is why nothing is unconditional.